It's your boy Bronson, all around creative. I'm here today with a very special episode and a very special guest here on Typecasted. Jordan Low Shields. I know him as Jordan. Everybody else knows him as Low. Introduce yourself, buddy.
What's good, y'all? My name is Low. I make videos. I try to entertain. Yeah, the Low Show.
All right, so today we're gonna get into a bunch of different topics, but let's start out with your origin, where you're from, your early influences, and I guess your style of entertainment.
So I'm from the 804.
Richmond, stand up, okay.
Richmond stand up, but I feel like Chester and Chesterfield don't get that much love, and that's where I'm currently at. You know what I'm saying? So let's put them on the map. We got to start by putting them on the map. So shout out to Chester, Chesterfield, but shout out to Richmond too. Early influences?
Yeah, early influences in your, I guess your style of entertainment.
Okay. So the crazy thing for me is like I never really watched a lot of comedy movies. Like I was into like action, like dramas, other stuff like that. So even though I do comedy now, it's like I wasn't really watching those because I just felt like I didn't really like the plots to comedy movies. They were just like stupid to me. But
real cookie cutter, real like I feel that because a lot of the comedy movies growing up, like you had stuff like Half Baked, you had comedy movies like. I'm trying to think, you had like Dumb and Dumber. They kind of all had the same kind of plot point.
Yeah, it was really like those parody ones, like disaster movies, like those things. I just hated those, but they were funny though.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't watch it again after, like you know what I'm saying. But for real, main influences were like people like my dad because my dad is like in a similar lane as me, so I would see him doing his thing, and then peers like. In my freshman year of high school, I had this class with this dude named Chris, and he was making his own movies and stuff. And like, I knew that was something I low key was interested in. And then when I seen him actually doing it and like going crazy with it, I was like, yo, I could do this too. Then my dad like told me I could do it too. But for real, it was like music inspired me, and then watching movies. I was the type of kid where I would watch a movie. And then, like, I would want to be that character after I'm finished watching a movie.
Right.
I watch a spy movie, then I'm lurking around the house like I'm a spy or something.
Come out of the movie theater.
Yeah. So, like if I watch, like, something deep, like maybe, like, Pursuit of Happiness or something, then I'll be like, yo, I can be anything.
Right.
And then, you know what I'm saying? So, it's really stuff like that. These rappers.
That's dope. That's dope. So, when did you realize that what you thought was... what I guess would be considered a hobby or something to do on the side could potentially be something that could kind of break you out into the entertainment field?
So, for me, like, all the way back when I was young, I knew in my head whatever I did, I was going to be, like, big at, because for me, it was always about, I'm not going to lie. When I was younger, I was just thinking about, like, the popularity aspect and, like, yo, just because when we watch TV and stuff, when we see all these famous people, it's like, yo, they got the clout, you know what I'm saying? Like, they up there. So, but I was a kid at that point. But then as I got older, it was like, yo, I want to, like, inspire, I want to impact and stuff like that. So when I first got into, like, filmmaking and I knew I wanted to be, like, a director, it was like... yeah, I do skits on the side, but I knew that I wanted to do that full time. So when I started doing the camera work, it was never really even a hobby. It was like that was my main thing, and I was going to do that. So
I feel that.
That was around freshman year of high school where I was like, yo, I'm gonna do this.
So you got into like filmmaking before coming to college.
Yes.
So you knew. So what was your major when you came into Old Dominion?
Communications.
Okay. Yeah, see, I had the similar issue. I found my love for film and directing and writing after having kind of like a breakthrough moment where I was like, I really don't want to do what I was doing before.
Right.
So I changed. But see, the things about Old Dominion, they don't really have film majors. Like they don't have like.
Yeah, it's not like a big program.
It's not a big program. So you gotta technically become a communications major to kind of fit into that mold. So how has that been? Because you're still a mass communications major, right?
Communications with a focus in cinema and TV.
Cinema and TV, right? Yeah. That was mine too when I was here.
Right.
So has that large umbrella like category of mass communications like helped or hindered you in wanting to do what you want to do?
Honestly, I feel like it's helped me because, for one, communications is so broad, and for me, I don't really want to just do film down the line.
Right.
I want to do things in all aspects of entertainment and art, and I feel like if I do go the job route after college, it's like with that I can do anything for real with the communications degree. Not anything, like I can't be a doctor, but
right.
as far as like the art world or like digital media, I could do stuff with that. So I feel like that's helped me.
I feel you. So what? I guess what's your next step after graduating college? What do you want to do?
Right after I graduate college, I want to move to New York. Yeah. I've always wanted to move to New York after college. New York is going to be kind of like short term, but I'm going to go there for a few years. I'm going to learn all I can. I'm going to go hard with it, and then I want to move to LA. I know that kind of sounds cliche, but that's what I want to do. I want to go to LA kind of long term. So what I'm doing now is like I'm trying to build up my brand. I'm trying to put out skits. I'm trying to put out content as much as possible. I'm trying to move fast with it because you never know what could catch this day and age. Everything be going crazy.
Anything can go viral.
That's what I'm saying. Right. So yeah, I'm just trying to go crazy with that. I'm trying to meet people. I've been, emailing, DMing, all that type stuff. So by the time I move to New York, if it's not already there yet, which I would hope to be, but God's timing, you don't know. So if it's not there yet, I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to keep pursuing the same thing. Of course, I'm going to use my degree to get a good paying job. And then on the side, like if I'm working all day, when I come home at night, we shooting videos. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to keep going. And the dream is to be able to inspire people who are doubting themselves or, they want to be something, but their parents tell them like they can't or they need to become a doctor or whatever to do them. Because the thing for me, bro, like I watch interviews all the time. And when I watch interviews of rappers and other comedians or whatever, I notice that they go from talking about early life growing up to when they made it. And they never really talk about that space. They don't talk about that space of when they weren't getting views or when they weren't doing nothing. It's like, oh, I put out a song on SoundCloud, boom, million plays.
That's not how it started.
Yeah, for me, I want to hear, like, what were you doing to keep yourself going? Like, when you were down yourself or when other people was down you, what did you do? Right. You know what I'm saying? For me, I feel like so many people are in that space. So I want to, like, talk about that when I do finally get up there. I want to spend a long time. Like, I don't know if you've seen those Jumper interviews. But them things be like an hour and a half. I want to spend my first 45 minutes talking about, I was in my dorm room, you know what I'm saying? Not getting that many views. And, like, I feel like that would push people like, he's like me. Anybody can do this, You just have to be passionate.
That's true. So let's talk about you growing up as a kid. Were your parents supportive of your dream to get into the entertainment field, directing and filmmaking, stuff like that?
Okay, yes. So earlier when I was a child, since my dad is in the video lane, like he directs, he edits, he produces. He recently just started his own business. So he's in the arts area. And then my sister, she's like in the fashion design, fashion merchandise area.
So artistic family.
Right. My mom is an accountant. So so she's
all ball.
Yeah, but she actually has some art tendencies about her. So like I'm interested to see what happens with that. But yeah, so it is kind of like an art family. So when I wanted to dive into videos, they were fully supportive. My dad, he bought me a camera. You know what I'm saying? He was just showing me different things. But the thing about that is like they're very hard on like college and like internships, and which is nothing's wrong with it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like college helped me. I'm glad I'm here, and I'm gonna stick it out until I'm done. Like I'm not about to drop out or anything, but you know what I'm saying? Honestly, I feel like now you don't really need it to be successful. Right. It can help, and like, but there's so many people who graduate and then don't get jobs in what they graduated in. So I'm gonna use it, but that's not really plan A. Right. Plan A is this video stuff, and I feel like when like there's still support, they're just scared. They want me to be successful too.
Right. I think that's every parent's fear is when a kid doesn't go along with the beaten path and they kind of do their own thing. Granted, they'll be supportive of you or not. if you're not on that beaten path, they kind of get a little shaky. I can attest to that for sure.
Yeah, like I just want to take risks. Like I know you have to risk it to go far. And
absolutely,
like when you talk to people like Will Smith, they always have this crazy story about how like they just moved somewhere or they did something crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they got here. Like they didn't just follow the normal path. You got to go somewhere else because that's not what everyone's done before.
Right.
So I just want to take risks, and they don't want me to, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. So let's talk about the inception of the Low Show. How did that come about? Who were the was it your brainchild? Was it a group effort between you and some friends?
Mm-hmm.
How did it all come to fruition?
All right, so the Low Show started. I got the nickname Low because I was at a party and like something crazy had happened, and like I told my friends after that, just because it was so crazy, like my name's Low now because I just wanted to give a new identity. But the Low came from polo. I was into polo back then, so I just chopped the PO. The PO. Yeah, I chopped that off. All right, so then fast forward. That was in high school. So then fast forward to college. Everybody was on the Snapchat wave. Back when I was on the Snapchat wave, it was like, yo, my Snapchat stories is like a real show. Mm-hmm. Like it kind of goes together. People are watching it. It's funny. What can we call this show? We sat around. Hey, yo, the Low Show, and then rhyme. So that was me and my friend Jordan, my friend AJ, right? So like we just started. I started recording what we were doing, and it was the Low Show, and like a few friends was into that, and that was cool. You know what I'm saying? And my friend AJ, he has a YouTube channel, and his YouTube channel was doing pretty well at the time. So
what was he doing?
He does like hair, like tutorials and stuff like that, and modeling and clothes and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, he's doing that. And
shout out to AJ. That's
shout out to AJ. Richard Nygaard, follow him on Instagram. But so yeah, basically he was doing that, and like he told me like, yo, you should get into this YouTube stuff, and I was like, yeah, I already make videos. Because me and Dre, right there, we were making, like, funny skits back in high school that would be, like, hilarious to, like, our peers around us and stuff. Right. So, like, he already knew we was making, like, I could make skits, and we were supposed to make one, but it didn't happen at the time. And so I was like, yo, I could get on YouTube and call that The Low Show. Like, so I ended up naming it The Low Show channel because The Low Show was already taken. So I named it The Low Show channel, and I started posting content on there, and people started commenting, they started laughing and stuff. Then I got back on the skits on Instagram, and then I had dropped the Snapchat stuff like early, right? And when I got onto YouTube, so then I was going crazy on YouTube, and then I started posting skits on Instagram, and then it kind of.
That's cool. So what's crazy is because I've known Jordan since his freshman year of college, and I knew like it was a couple because I remember I was doing a reading for one of the scripts. In y'all's dorm, and I remember you were doing. I think you were doing something for a video. I think you might have been doing like editing for another one of our mutual friends. He was doing videos and stuff because he's a producer. And I think you might have edited one of his videos, and I was like, this dude like can really edit. And so I remember that, and then you had been doing stuff for a while, and you've been telling me, I peeped the game, I peeped the work, Bronson, blah, blah, blah. And then I seen your video that you did at Deucepalooza.
Yeah, the vlog.
The vlog, I want, guys, you gotta, is it on the YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
If you believe in comedy, bro, I don't even think it was meant to be funny, but that vlog was the funniest thing. Like, I seen a couple of my friends in there. Yeah. just like drunk off their ass. Like, the whole thing was hilarious. It was an experience, and I was like, this dude might have a future in comedy. And I didn't even know that was the lane that you were going. I only knew that you were like editing stuff and like filming. Right. So that leads into my next question. Not what you prefer primarily, but what do you get the most out of being in front of the camera or behind the camera? Because this is something for me that I've had to battle with. Right. I don't prefer, but I like being in front of the camera. Yeah. But I also really enjoy being behind the camera. So what do you get the most out of creatively?
All right, so being behind the camera, I want to say that was like my first love.
Right.
Um, dang, people ask me that all the time, but now it's like I love being behind the camera. I enjoy the editing process. I enjoy all of that. But now being in front of the camera, since it's like still new, and it's like I don't know. I get the high. I get the high off that. Yeah. Like I think I enjoy being in front of the camera more. Mm-hmm. Honestly, just like being able to make people laugh or make somebody feel a certain type of way. Right. You know, I enjoy that a lot.
Is it that? Because for me, I feel like it's that that immediate gratification you get when people say, "Oh, you were funny in that video," versus the people you had were funny in that video. Right. Is it like, damn, you know, they're more applauding me more so the entire project versus them applauding my project versus me personally?
I don't even know if it's really that. I think it's like I feel like I can direct pretty good. Right. But sometimes I have the vision in my head for a funny video, and I'll tell somebody say this a certain way, and then
it didn't come off.
Yeah. And I feel like only I can do it how I picture in my head. Right. And so I'll get in front of the camera and do it, and then boom, it's hilarious.
You got that Tarantino bug. That's the thing that Quentin Tarantino does a lot. Is that if it's a character that he feels that is his brainchild, there's nobody else that can do what's in your head but you.
Right, exactly. And I think that's what just made me keep getting in front of the camera. You know, of course I have like different characters, but that main character in my skits and whatever I do, it's like I feel like I kind of have to be that because I know how I want it to look. Right. And like I can tell somebody we can get as close as possible. And other people might still think it's funny and not like notice, but
it's not what you.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I could put something else in there.
Right. You know? So what's the method behind your videos? Like, do you sit down? Do you brainstorm? Do you bounce ideas off? Or is it kind of just like a free for all? You get in front of the camera, you just record.
Okay, so it's kind of different for the different videos I do. Like sometimes I'm about to start this it's a podcast, but I'm gonna have like a visual format, right? And it's gonna be like where I sit down with people and we look at what they achieved or what they accomplished, and like they give steps on how to get there. Right. So that's gonna be kind of like a less
like an interview TED talk.
Kind of. It's more like like a conversation like this. Yeah. So it's gonna be like that, and that's not really gonna it's gonna be some humor in there, but I'm not gonna try. Right. And so with that I had to like sit back and really like think about for a while, like what are the topics gonna be, who should I do, et cetera, et cetera. Now for the skits we don't really, me and Dre, we don't really even brainstorm that. It's like we might listen to a song, or most of the time something happens because naturally we just be doing crazy stuff. Like without the camera recording, we'll act out a skit. Like we'll be in the car and we'll be acting like a driving exam or something like that, or like anything. We'll just act out a skit, but there'll be no camera. So naturally, we just be doing crazy stuff. And so we'll pause and be like, yo, that was a skit, bro. Yeah. Hold on, get the cameras out. We got to record that right now. That was a skit. Right. And no, like we do that like every single day. And that's how these skits come about. Like it's real life, just boosted a little bit. Just over-exaggerated just a little bit. So those, it's not really much thought. It's like either something happens or I hear a song and I visualize it, because you know how when you listen to music, you like put together a video for it. It's like a music video in your head. But like I'll be in the music video whenever I think about it, and then I just make something funny happen. So that's usually how the process is with like the skits.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're gonna get into I guess your peers in the game of I guess YouTube skit comedy. So you got people like Retrospectro. You got people like what's the guy's name who does the like the parody videos of different rappers, dark skinned guy who did that King's Dead skit.
Lennar?
Yeah, him. Hilarious. So do you envision yourself working with these people, or are these people more so a competition?
No, I absolutely love to work with them. I watch Retrospectro, I watch Lennar all the time. Yeah. And I geek. I don't feel any kind of way when I see them popping. I love to work with them because I feel like there's a lane for all of us. Right. Like it's no competition. We could all get on. They're already on, but you know what I'm saying? I love to work with them. I love to work with anybody, honestly. It doesn't matter how many followers or views or whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
it's all about the collaborative
right,
effort. I
right.
feel you on
It's
that.
the only way to grow for real.
I feel you. So we're gonna wind down. I got a couple last questions for you, but my next question is, what do you feel is the next step for Low? What's your next big project? You got a couple skits lined up. What's your next big thing to put yourself on in this environment?
Next big thing for me is like the podcast I was telling you about,
Mm-hmm.
and how it's gonna be visual, and I just like get strip the audio from that and put it on SoundCloud so people driving in their cars they can play that.
Right.
And what I'm gonna do with that is I'm just trying to provide the viewers value.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if there's a photographer and a photographer got published in a magazine, that video is gonna be aimed at like the steps the photographer took to get put in the magazine, because so many people like to keep stuff a secret nowadays,
Right.
and I don't get that. Like people always
keep how to get put on and how they got to where they are.
Yeah, and I just think people are scared. Like honestly, I always felt there's a lane for everybody. You know, of course, sometimes you and your feelings and you doubting like, dang, they gonna make it. You know, blah blah blah. But when I'm clear headed and everything, like I know like there's a lane for everybody. We can all get in here. Mm-hmm. And a majority of the people who listen to what you say, they're not even gonna apply it. Right. So it's like, stop being scared. And if if you let somebody steal your opportunity from you, they deserve to have it.
Right.
Honestly, because if you're not working hard, then you don't really want it. Then let them. Right. They're gonna take it. They deserve it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So with this right here, I want to take people who have done something or overcame something, and they're not scared to tell the secrets to it, so that aspiring photographers or rappers or videographers or anything, a doctor, you know what I'm saying, they can watch it and they can see how they accomplished this milestone or overcame depression or anything. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's something big I'm working on, because when people think of the Low Show, I want it to be like, okay, you can come here for anything. You can come here for comedy. You can come here for something valuable, motivational, inspiring. You come here for a vlog. If you want to hear music, that's yet to come. But if you want to hear music, you can go here. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I want it to be. So right now my Instagram is dedicated to laughs. Right. YouTube, there's laughs over there too, but I'm about to put the interview, the podcast, and stuff over there. Right. Facts. So that's the big thing right now. And while Dre's here, we just been pumping out skits. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know what skits I'm gonna do today, but I know I'm gonna do something. You know, that's how it really be coming. It's just like this spur of the moment. Yeah. So yeah, that's really the biggest thing I'm doing right now.
That's good. So if the people don't know, Lo has his friend Dre here, and Dre, you can say how do the people, Dre?
Mm-hmm. Well, what's going on, man?
Delusional Thomas.
Yeah, Delusional Thomas, man. Yes, sir.
So Dre, if I can ask you a couple questions, what do you do? What do you bring to the table as far as the Low Show is concerned? What's your title? What's your resume looking like as far as the Low Show?
Oh, I mean, for real, like he kind of like put it all together. Like, you know, we pumping out skits like in the moment, you know, nothing really too much thought into it. We really just like having a good time. We just being ourselves, you know. End of the day, that's what I feel that. But yeah, I mean, I got a YouTube as well. I put, you know, just mainly I started reactions on there at first, you know, just music I like, and then just kind of, you know, going like out of my way and like reacting to it. Other than that, you know, skits as well. Not really too.
So, he got his own empire.
Yeah. So I want to ask the both of you, if you don't mind. What are you both self-taught in like film equipment and editing software, stuff like that?
For the most part, I'm self-taught, but my dad did teach me a lot. Right. Like I would go out. We shot the first short film I ever shot. We shot like a parody to Home Alone at his house, and so like we shot that, and that was the first time I ever shot. I didn't know how to white balance. I didn't know how to focus. Yeah. None of that. I came back and we just took the clips I had. I sat down with my dad on his computer, and he made me line it up like in the chronological order, and then like he helped me chop it down, make it shorter. There was parts I didn't want to cut out because of the time limit and all that stuff. It was too long. He made me cut things out, so that's helped me to now where like if I have a time like on Instagram, you have to get to a minute, or it used to be 15 seconds. Right. And for me, it used to be so hard because I feel like I'm cutting out an important part in the skit.
Good content.
But now it's like I can just do it without getting too attached to it. I can do it And now when I'm shooting, I don't I like to overshoot, but I make sure I have what's essential.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's mostly self-taught, and then my dad in there too.
Right.
It wasn't really like school.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, half the stuff I'm taught, I already know.
Right.
But I still absorb it in because you never know, you can learn something
and apply it to whatever you
right.
do. So Dre, you self-taught
for real, like just off tutorials. This man showed me everything. Basically,
tutorials too.
Yeah, like I used to just like crank hours just watching like tutorials, getting frustrated, trying to figure out how to do effects, how to like really put my vision, in the screen. So that was a battle, but it's getting easier and easier like every day as I'm trying to do new stuff.
That's what's up. I think because this is an important question because like people like us, African American kids who come from a certain mold, who want to do something different. I feel as though like film, cinematography and film and writing and stuff isn't really tailor made for us, and I feel like we don't have a lot of I guess peer group people who try to teach us the things. So I feel like being self-taught, not the best way, but I feel like it's the most it's what we got now. Growing up outside of a family, because you come from an artistic family, Dre. Do you come from an artistic type family?
Not really, like
not
for real.
See, we might be in the same boat, bro.
Yeah, because I was really bringing like my people. They love watching movies. They like basic and stuff, but it's really I don't know. They didn't really give me much to work with. It was like me watching like cartoons or something. I would get inspired, have some crazy ideas, or like something I'll see my friends doing. Just all around.
And I think the best thing for me, helping. I feel like helping the generation after me is something that I feel like will be way more impactful than any film that I ever make, anything that I ever write. Because if we don't share it with the people that come after us, all the things that we put in time and effort into, whether it's your videos, if it's my writing, if it's my film, like we have nothing to pass on. So I feel like it's important for us to teach the next generation. So do you see, and you can answer as well, do you see anybody younger or anybody that you've seen that could have that next spark of what you guys had when you came into college? Because I definitely, both you and the other Jordan, and then Ty, our friend Tyler. Tyler's been a guest of the show, friend of the show, Tyler Joseph Hicks. No, Joseph Tyler Hicks. I always say his name backwards.
Tyler Shooter.
Yeah, the shooter. But y'all were definitely the kids that I saw when I was in, my sophomore, junior year, like saying, oh, these, they're going to carry that creative flag after I'm long gone, because it's not a lot of those creative influence at Old Dominion. I mean, this is a school with engineering and nurse majors, like to the 10th degree. There's not a lot of black, filmmakers and artists and writers out here, and I feel like that's the purpose of this show is to make a focal point of people like me, with gifts like I do. So, I guess back to the question: do you guys see, or are you looking for, somebody to bring up a little young JR to help mold for the next generation?
The crazy thing is, there's not a lot of people, at least in this area, who do skits.
Right.
And if they do skits, they're already up there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I would love to find somebody. Now, there are people that do skits that are older than me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the question was younger, right?
Right.
So, I don't know.
Well, not even younger, but like in your age group where you feel like, they have that artistic tendency.
Right.
So why not, bring them over, like, hey, let's work together.
Exactly.
Let me.
I love that. And whenever I find somebody, like I met somebody like last week who said he does skits, and I was down to work, like like let's make something happen for the culture,
right?
You know,
always.
But I know a lot of young people back home who like rap or do other stuff artistically, and like they're gifted at it, and I want to like push them to keep going. So if I ever get that platform where I can bring them up, I definitely will, because that's what it's about.
Yeah, I think the importance of me starting Bronson Club Productions a couple years ago was to give people in my peer group, because you know most of my friends, all of them are damn near artistic in their own right, and so I feel like giving them that outlet is definitely an advantage. So if you guys, anybody who's listening, if you're out here and you need somebody to spit game to you, Jordan is impeccable at what he does. A lot of the people who are on the show are impeccable at what they do. Reach out and find a certain lane for yourself to where you can become as successful, if not more, with your art. But Jordan, it's been a great interview. I enjoyed you being here. I've been trying to look. Jordan was supposed to be. He was going to be first ballot for the third season, but some people dropped out. They didn't want to do it, so I was like, "Yeah, it's second season right now." So I was like, first person I get for third season is going to be Jordan. But the last person I was going to interview was like, I don't know. He was kind of wishy-washy on it. So I was like, I'm going to just get Jordan, right? Because I know Jordan down for an interview. Right. He's a cool dude, and he gonna spit some good game for y'all. So, Jordan, I appreciate you for being here. Dre, I appreciate you for being here, too. This has been another episode of Typecasted. I don't know when this is going to go up because I haven't put up the second episode yet because I still got to finish editing that out. That is a clusterfuck of dramatic proportions. Like I was interviewing Renz. His rap name is Gatsu. I was interviewing Renz, but like everybody was here, so it ended up being like a collaborative podcast thing. So it's a bunch of craziness going on. We were drinking we were drinking, so it was
2 hours.
Yeah, it's a hefty joint. So I'm gonna put that up. I might put this one up first, just to follow the kind of guidelines that I try to keep typecasted on. But if not, I'll let you know definitely when it goes up. But this has been Typecasted for Jordan. I am Bronson. We aren't what they say we are.
Facts.
Keep it locked here.
At Low Show Co. Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, go ahead, plug your socials. Plug your socials.
At Low Show Co. on Instagram. LOSHOWCO on YouTube. The Low Show channel. Yeah.
Delusional Thomas, 2 underscores at the end. Instagram, Twitter, Delusional T, 2 underscores.
Remember, you can do anything you put your mind to. Just don't give up. Facts.
Absolutely. This has been Bronson. You already know where to catch me at. This has been Typecasted again. We aren't what they say we are. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Peace.